Hello everyone, it is MisterStubstep and I am back at it with a Primal Clash value discussion. I'm continuing on my trend of the X and Y series of sets. So Primal Clash threw me for a loop, has a lot more cards worth over $1. Like always, I will have down below timestamps so you can skip to whatever part you actually came here for, because I normally go over the spreadsheet itself in the beginning. I'll also have links down below to this Google Sheet, as well as all the other Google Sheets that I've done like on other value discussions, as well as a link to the playlist of all the value discussions that I've done, which includes all the Sun and Moon series of sets, all the XY sets up to here, and then Sword and Shield through Darkness Ablaze. So yeah, starting out with some administrative information, this set was released in 2015 on February the 3rd. Base card total is 160, so we're actually getting up there in numbers with 4 secret rares, unfortunately for collectors, but I guess fortunately for people that like blinged out decks. All the secret rares in this are trainer cards, so you guys will see that is a big part of the downfall of how collectible this set truly is. This is as of 20 March 21. So obviously any point after this day, if more sales are made or prices update, then this is out of date. But it's still nice to get a snapshot of the potential collectability for a set. You can also see color coordination there. And then starting in the left column, we have the card, which is self-explanatory. If it's in red, that's a card that I'll be talking about today. And if it's italicized, I have it, but I don't have any big hitters within this set. I'm pretty sure I've only opened up like 1 or 2 packs from this set. Rarity, self-explanatory. The raw on TCG Player is the marketplace value on TCG Player, which is generally an average of just the recent sales on TCG Player. Grade, I try to find a PSA 10. I want to do CGC in the future, but for a lot of these older sets, just CGC isn't as common. And, if there is 1 or 2, like there is a few on this, there's not enough to be able to have like that continuity throughout the whole spreadsheet. So I still try to achieve PSA 10 or get as close as I can to that. Sold price is the price that it's sold at on eBay, rounded up to the nearest dollar, not including shipping. And then the date of sale is when it was sold. So if it was sold recently, it's maybe a popular card, or there's a ton of that card, or if it hasn't been sold in a while, maybe it's not as popular, or it's just extremely rare. And then PSA 10 population, another thing that you guys will probably notice right off the bat is that not a lot of these cards have been graded, and the quality of the cards that have been graded hasn't been too good. So overall, this set isn't a set that I think a lot of like collectors are really, really looking into. But who knows? I have a feeling there are some sleepers within this set, and a few of these cards have sold for a good amount. So I think there are some people out there, but I definitely think this is more of a niche set for collectors. So yeah, the number on the left is the number of PSA 10s, and the number on the right is the number currently registered with PSA. So only PSA, none of the other grading companies. All right, so let us begin. The first card we'll be talking about is Gardevoir EX. I'm partial to Gardevoir because my favorite Pokemon is Kirlia, so I always like going over Gardevoir. It's a nice looking Pokemon, and generally it has nice looking cards. So a lot of these, you're going to notice there's not even any recent PSA 10 sales, only PSA 9s. So we're going to have to do a lot of extrapolation on how much these cards are truly worth out of 10. So Gardevoir EX, PSA 9, $50, only 7 out of 31 at 10. I imagine if you had this in a 10, it would probably be at least $80, more than likely over $100. Once again, this is just all my conjecture. None of this is fact. It's just my opinion based on sales within this spreadsheet and just recent sales that I've seen in other XY sets. For example, a Wailord EX in a 10 sold for $109. While I do think this is a nice artwork, and Wailord, I wouldn't say Wailord is even in on the tier list of collectible Pokemon, but people like Wailord. I mean, it's the biggest Pokemon. It literally just looks like a whale. I don't know. I like Wailord too for some reason. $109 and a PSA 10. So that's why I think a lot of these EX cards, especially the more popular ones, maybe even the less popular ones, Pokemon-wise, I think in a 10 they would do all right, at least over 100. We have the Groudon EX. So yes, this set does feature some box legendaries from Generation 3. It kind of came around the same time that the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire came out, so you have Omega Alpha Pokemon in this set, and Groudon and Kyogre are big parts of this set. So Groudon EX, $95 at a PSA 10. Actually, a decent amount of PSA 10s. It's funny because this is all comparatively within this set, but if you look to a lot of modern sets, these numbers of PSA graded cards are just pitiful. Mega Aggron EX, $144 at a PSA 10. Not too bad. They gave Aggron the same amount of cards that they gave Gardevoir within this set, which I would normally put Gardevoir way above Aggron, but they gave Aggron some love within this set, so why not? I mean, I guess Aggron did get a Mega. We have the Gardevoir EX Full Art. PSA 9 sold for $78. Okay, all the ones that you see that sold 27 January, you might be thinking that's kind of fishy. It's because PWCC had an auction ending, or had a bunch of auctions ending on that day for Pokemon, so yeah. And I imagine somebody had like a full PSA 9 set of Primal Clash cards, and yeah. Gardevoir EX Full Art, this is my favorite card in this set. It's beautiful. My local card shop had this card for the longest time. Not in very good condition, probably like moderately played to lightly played condition, and I would always look at it and I'm like, I don't have any Primal Clash cards, there's no point in me getting that. But now I wish I picked it up because it's a beautiful card. $78 in a PSA 9. I definitely think this would sell for over $100 in a 10. Sharpedo EX Full Art. I just think this is a cool full art. I mean, who doesn't like sharks? You know, it's like one of the things growing up. Sharks are cool. You got Shark Week. $61 in a PSA 9. I imagine this would get close to 100 in a PSA 10 at least. The Wailord EX Full Art. I think this artwork is even better than the regular EX and only sold for $60 at a PSA 9. I imagine this would sell for over 100 in a 10. Got Archie's Ace in the Hole Full Art. Normally I wouldn't talk about this, but I skipped Maxie's, and a PSA 10 this sold for $60. So it just shows that maybe these two don't have as much potential. I mean, Maxie and Archie, like, yeah, you know, they represent, you know, two sides of the same coin in you know, the Generation 3 games and all that. But I don't know, they're just kind of forgettable to me. I think there's a lot cooler, you know, enemy bosses out there. Got the Aggron EX Full Art. Okay, for Aggron, this is a cool card. PSA 10, $400. There are only 13 PSA 10s. So keep in mind, like, a lot of these, the PSA 10 numbers are in the single digits. And, like, comparatively across all Pokemon sets, that is extremely low. Like, very low. But I did make comments before on, like, how the printing quality was probably poor. But also, I think, because a lot of the people that were collecting during this time, they were probably just playing the game. Like, I don't think there was any, like, hardcore collectors, like, truly protecting these cards. So there's probably not too many left. And then, like, sealed products. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of contributing factors. We have Primal Groudon EX Omega. And a 10 sold for $173. And this is actually the most graded card within this set. I mean, I think it's kind of a cool card. It's kind of along the same lines of there's a lot going on, and there is a lot going on in this card. Got Primal Kyogre EX Alpha, sold for $276 in a PSA 10. So I think overall, just on previous sets that have had Kyogre and Groudon and Kyogre cards in general, I think Kyogre does better than Groudon in the long run as far as collectability. So take that with what you will, but yeah, just think that's interesting. We have the Mega Aggron EX Full Art, and a 9 sold for $85. I definitely imagine this would, you know, probably sell for like $150 at least in a 10. We got the Teammates Full Art. Yeah, raw this sells for a decent amount, and a 9 sold for $54. I imagine this would get close to 100 in a PSA 10. Actually, maybe even more. I know a few of these like sleeper full arts that people all of a sudden really want. Like, I know when Furious Fisted sell for like $800 or whatever. I don't know if this is like an $800 card, but it does have 2 females in it, so that can always help. But only 7 PSA 10s. We have the Groudon EX Full Art. This is a cool card. PSA 9 sold for $125. When the 9 selling for over $100, I imagine the 10 will probably sell for $200, $300, $400, maybe even $500. Only 9 PSA 10s. The Primal Groudon EX Omega Full Art. $510. This is a cool card. A lot going on, but I think it's fairly cool. I think it's cool. 11 double digits of PSA 10s, so not bad. Going into the Kyogre EX Full Art, another beautiful card. A 9 sold for $117. I imagine a 10 would, you know, sell for a few hundred. Only 4 10s. That's just crazy. Primal Kyogre EX Alpha Full Art. 91 in a PSA 9. So, yeah, I imagine a 10 this would sell for a few hundred as well, but there's just no way to know because recently there just hasn't been that many sales. Because there's only 6 PSA 10s. I imagine everybody that has those freaking 10s, they're not going to let them go anytime soon. And then finally, we have the only secret rare trainer that I'm going to talk about. All the secret rare trainers in here, you know. I think Sun and Moon did secret rare trainers really well. And then Sword and Shield, like, even better. Like, the gold, they're just beautiful secret rare trainers. And this was, like, kind of them dabbling with it a little bit. And it's nice. And, you know, I imagine these cards are and were and are still fairly playable. So the raw price is $23. I just realized that the PSA 9 sold for $23. So yeah, literally the same price. That's kind of funny. And only 410s. So yeah, that was the quick down and dirty of all the graded stuff. We'll go down to some tidbits at the bottom. So the average EX. So because there were so many 9s, like these averages are just so unweighted, or I guess too far weighted in either direction. So I wouldn't take these too seriously. The biggest number that I'd focus on here is the number of cards that are worth over $1 in this set. Granted, this is a huge set, bigger than all the previous sets, I believe. And there's 37 over $1. This gave me flashbacks of Sun and Moon, but not quite Sun and Moon levels. So it's something to take into account. I don't think this set's better than Phantom Forces or Flashfire, but I do think it slightly beats out Furious Fist because of just the sheer quantity, and you have Kyogre and Groudon, some 2-box legendaries, and then I'm also partial to Gardevoir. Some slightly cooler information over here to the right. A Master Set recently sold for $410 in February, so that's kind of cool. Elite Trainer Box. The Elite Trainer Box, $21.75. Wow. There is a Kyogre and a Groudon mix of these, but the most recent sale of just a Kyogre one was $21.75. The last Groudon one was sold like for a few months ago for like $600, but I imagine like there's just no Groudon ones on the market. So yeah, let's just say these Elite Trainer boxes are in the same category as all the previous ones that we've talked about with an XY. They're very sought out after, and very expensive. Booster packs is surprisingly very cheap, $7.65. I thought this was like a little bit off, but I went on to eBay and they were selling, full art sets for like over $20. So honestly, not that bad. And then the booster box, $500. Honestly, if you think about how much some of the Sun and Moon sets are going for, $500 for a set this old is not that bad. It's just a shame that, like, I think Primal Clash just outshines this set in a lot of ways, because you're like, oh, well, this set has Groudon and Kyogre, but then Primal Clash has it, but then they have the secret rares, and it just, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Primal Clash definitely got outshined and is left in the shadow, but I still think this is an interesting set. I learned a lot. So we'll go into some quick collectible tiers. So in the low tier, I'm going to have the regular Gardevoir EX, just for tiers of collectability for, 10, 20 years in the future. The Wailord EX, the Groudon and Kyogre EX, as well as the Mega Aggron EX. So, you could argue these cards aren't really worth anything, but I'll put them in the low tier. We got the mid tier. We have the Gardevoir full art, my favorite card within the set. Wailord full art, Sharpedo full art, and then the Mega Aggron full art. I think those are all worthy of the mid tier because they are XY full arts. They're nice, and their population reports are very limited. And then for the top tier, we pretty much have all the rest of the Kyogre and Groudon cards. So that includes the Primal, Groudon, and Kyogre EX, Omega, and Alpha, just the regular ones, as well as the full arts, and then the Groudon and Kyogre, just regular EX full arts. Those are all in the top tier, in my opinion. Granted, comparing this set to other sets, all of the cards that I just mentioned would probably be like a mid-tier level thing, but yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this set. I plan to continue, on this XY trend chronologically. Please let me know if you like this video, leave a like, and if you didn't like this video or you see improvement, like places for improvement, leave some feedback down below or dislike. And if this is your second video of mine, definitely consider subscribing because, if I keep getting suggested to you, might as well help me out and subscribe. But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to, this should post on Wednesday, the 24th. So should have an opening tomorrow, and then we'll see if we had anything over the weekend. All right, you guys have a good one. Thank you.